Hi and welcome back to another Rust base build. Now if you didn't know, we are running a competition for 2 of these rugs which will be picked on the 4th of July. All you have to do is leave a comment below. Now if you didn't catch my 5 build tricks in Rust, go and check it out. I did say I would try and put some of those tricks into a base, and this is it. Bear in mind some of these tricks will get patched on the force wipe, some won't, but I will make sure I update the description to let you know the dates and when they're actually patched, so you don't go ahead and try and keep doing them when they won't work. Also, if you like these type of bases which have a bit of a unique twist to them, leave a like so I can gauge exactly this is the kind of content you want to see in the base builds that I do, because I don't like doing standard bunkers or boring 2x2s. They're just not very fun. Now as you come in, this full corridor can be double doors, garage doors, armoured doors. You go through the first wall, you will get the TC, that's why it's armoured. However, getting TC in this base doesn't really do anything for you. You're still going to have to go through all the doors. Very important that you armour the certain sections that I do, but I'll go through that later. Now, first trick is the shotgun that peeks through the door. Once you get through 2 doors, then the garage door, they're then going to have to contend with the shotgun trap, which you'll see basically instantly kills someone straight away. Again, if you want to just see that, check out my 5 tips video. There's other ways it works as well, which I'll be showing soon. Now, basically, because I have to use the stairs, I'm just utilising the space within there. That room can be used for anything. This section I'll come back to. Now, this also comes as a starter base, and I'm going to show how to do it as a starter base from the build, because personally I think every base needs a starter base, not just a big footprint. There you go, it's pointless because you have to build it up. The second trick is the barbecue, which is hidden within the honeycomb. Now, you can't lock this, so it's basically just an additional storage area. You can put this anywhere you want. I won't show it fully in the build because it's personal preference, and because you can't lock it, it's good for utilising space, but other than that, if it's found, it's pretty pointless. Now, leading into here, we have an exact replica of the other square room, just holding standard loot and your workbenches. Now, I'm not going to show where to put workbenches and boxes. That is completely up to you where you put those items. Everyone's got personal preference. I just stuck them in there. Now, the main part is the hidden loot, which is in this area. Also, your TC is sunken in with the armoured window, which I've used on bases for probably a year now. This is unlootable. It drops the box straight to the floor. They can get the parcel for a split second and then it's gone. Very, very effective and works every single time for me personally. Now, if you haven't seen the video for the 5 tips, this is the hidden loot area, where you can put boxes underneath the floor, access them quite easily. It only takes about 30 seconds to really find the hit markers, and you kind of learn where they are all the time after that. Now, I'll show you underneath now. You go underneath, all you have to do is stick code locks on these, obviously so people can't just reach in and grab them anyway. This forces people to have to go through the floors, and yes, people will put, I'll just jackhammer the floor. Go for it. Honestly, if you want to spend that level of time jackhammering, then this has worked its purpose because it's wasted your time. And if you're in my base, you're probably going to get hemp and hemp seeds, because I really don't have much to take. But it's just an extra way of securing your loot. And some people might not know about it and might not even think to check the floor. So it could actually save you in the long run. Bear in mind, this may get patched, and I expect it to get patched soon, so keep an eye out for it, because it's at your risk if you use it, because you could end up losing all your loot if you get stuck under there. Now, this area, I showed the ladder and the chair trick. I have now got a way of getting back down, but for this, I'm going to show you as an anti-go deep entrance for your roof. Now, when people go on your roof, you've got a helicopter, people like to camp it. This stops people from getting any further than this section, simply because they can't get through the door. They can't reach the ladder, they can't close the door, can't open the door, they're stuck in this area with a shotgun trap. So if your heli's up here and you get ganked as you jump out, they're only going to get into that section, and they still have to go through a metal floor or a metal wall to actually get anywhere. So I'm going to quickly jump in and I'll show you how to build this. Now, as I mentioned, this comes with a starter base. It's important for me in any build to make sure you have one, because the starter rust is always the hardest. Make sure you have one foundation taken up. This will allow you to sink your TC and your hidden loot later on in the build. It's a simple 2x1 with a triangle. Your TC will have to be moved later on, so bear that in mind. Now, if you have all the resources and you're playing on a server which isn't as busy, you could probably smash all this up straight away and do it in a different format. However, I always like to try and show some sort of progression build for people who may not be able to do it. Now, I'm using B grade. Obviously, you may not be able to put it in stone straight away. I've left the roof off just now, only so the light gets in. Make sure you seal the roof up as soon as you can. I'll just put the basic stuff in here just to show you how it would look. So if you're new to Rust, this is kind of what you're aiming for. Now, as I said, this is just an example of a starter base for this. You may do it differently, it's completely up to you, but I always like to try and give some sort of footprint for the starter base. It just makes some people feel more comfortable knowing that they don't have to go straight away and build a huge base, because chances are they're probably going to get caught, especially if they're solo. Now, once you feel that you've got all the resources you require, because you may want to do this in metal straight off the bat, we're going to start working on the main core of the foundations. This will also include the sunken area for the TC and the boxes. Follow me as I do it, like for like. Basically work out in three, work your way back, but try and do the drop down foundations before you finish it off. This will make it easier, and it can be quite easy to mess it up. I'm not going to lie, actually filming this, I probably messed it up about 5 times because I just wasn't paying attention to how I was doing it. Now, the square areas are always going to be in the same place. It's a symmetrical base, so it's very easy to follow once you have the hang of it. Once you drop the squares down, all the triangles are in place, you can then upgrade it and put walls around it and put a roof. I'm not going to put a roof on it simply because I want the light to get in. All I'm going to do now is upgrade everything to metal and put all the walls on, but leave the roof off. Now, as I said, all I've done is upgrade everything to metal and put the walls on it just to save time, because this is quite a long video and it's just going to drag on tremendously for you. All I've done is put the front door area in, which, bear in mind, you can do differently and add to it, so it's not just 3 doors then the armoured wall. But for me, when I'm playing a server, I'm actually quite lazy, and for me it's enough because they're effectively have to go through an armoured wall, then they're going to have to go through a metal wall as well, and for me they spent quite a lot in the ratio of the resources used. So with that said, with your shotgun trap in place as well in there, which we'll touch on again later, it's quite strong from that instance. Now, if you didn't know, if you put a half wall in place and put a triangle down, it will float when you take away the half wall if it's attached to a wall. It's a long running trick in Rust, but very effective, so make sure you use it. This gives your TC a second layer straight away from above. Makes it very, very strong. Now, as I said, you're going to want to armour this and make sure that it's done before you place the TC, because if you place the TC down and it's too close to the foundation, it will not actually upgrade the foundation. So key note, make sure you upgrade the foundations first, then place the TC. It will just save you a lot of trouble in the long run. Now, this half wall, it can be armoured if you want, completely up to you. I personally don't like to spend a lot of high qual on building, because you want to keep that upkeep low and use the high qual for weapons. It's a big bugbear of mine. It's the one thing I don't like about the upkeep system. It's just HQM. If you're solo and you don't do oil rig 24/7, it can be a bit of a pain to get to, because you're fighting against zergs and everything else. It just adds to the mix of slow progression. As I said, when the boxes are in place, ensure that you definitely code lock them. Otherwise, this unlootable hidden area is pretty pointless. People can get them. It's quite easy. You're making it easier for them. Once they're in place, drop the floor down, upgrade these to metal. You can do it with stone and armoured, but I find metal is easier. It's just personal preference if you don't mind messing around. Now check these work straight away. If you can't find the hit markers or you feel you've done it wrong, then destroy the metal floor. Yes, it's going to cost you metal, but you want to make sure you can actually get to the things rather than not. Check both of them are very much accessible by yourself, and when you put an armoured door or a garage door, that will cover the gap, meaning they have to actually physically go through the floor. So if you do forget a code lock, it's kind of a saving grace. They will have to go through something to actually get to it. Now, TC, very accessible. You can see there, not a problem to get to in the slightest. You can put a shotgun trap on top. It just means when people fire straight into that area, take away the armoured window, they've got a shotgun trap to deal with as well. As I said, this is symmetrical all the way around. I'm going to take you to a specific point in the video, then I'll let you know when it's pretty much pointless watching on, because it's going to be mainly honeycomb. I'll show you all the internals and I'll let you know when that point hits. For the armoured areas, you're going to want to make sure these walls are armoured and these foundations are armoured as well. This just makes it a lot more costly for them to try and foundation wipe it. Now, you can armour more of the foundations and walls, completely up to you how you want to do it. For me personally, as I said, I don't like a high upkeep when it comes to HQM because I'm quite lazy. I don't do oil rig 20 times a day. I'm just an ordinary Rust player who will play maybe 1 or 2 days at a time. So once all that's in place, you can see the HQM for how I've done it is only 16 per day. That isn't a lot at all. That's one little recycle run to any of the recyclers really, taking any of those crappy electrical components which are pretty pointless. Take them down, drop them in, and you're absolutely fine. Now, moving on to the anti-roof camp section, which had the chair and the ladder. You're going to want to do this in sections because you won't have the honeycomb on the roof to start with unless you box it out straight away. So bear that in mind early in the build. As soon as you've got it all honeycombed, then it becomes very, very effective. However, with the door in place, they still can't get any further. If you struggle to put the roof pieces in, the higher walls, just look down as I did and it'll pop them up. Now, I would highly recommend using a garage door because if you use a double door, you won't be able to crawl out. Might sound silly, but people will try and do it, and you're just going to leave a big exposed hole as you try and swap it, and if someone sees you, they're just going to jump down and kill you. So bear that in mind. Now, this section with the shotgun trap, just to bear in mind, when you put things that overlap doors before the doors are in place, it will not let you actually put the door in. I'll just demonstrate now. It looks fine. Put the door frame in and put a door in, and it will not let you close it. Some people still don't really understand this. No one does, don't panic. But if you put the door in first, then put the furnace in, it will then allow you to do it as normal. Now, it's key for the shotgun trap that floats through the door that you do it in this order. Once everything you want in the floor is in that area, then put the stairs in, because then you can put the shotgun trap as we did before where it floats through the door. Will this get patched? Not 100% sure. I think it will take a bit longer than some things, but it's very, very likely that it could. As I said before at the start, we're utilising the space as much as possible by putting anything we can in there. You can put boxes in as well if you wish. It's really your prerogative how you want to use that space. Now, to do the shotgun trap, you have to take it to the very, very edge of underneath the stairs, and then it will poke through. You can see there it's poking out. Personally, I think it could actually do with being out a bit further for this, so take it out as far as you can. Now, when we get to the anti-going deep area of the base, again, very important that you make sure first you have the ladder BP, and you can actually make the ladders, and you have the chair BP. If someone says in chat they struggle to find the chair BP, you aren't playing Rust, because you find them in literally every single box that you get to at the side of the road. Now, the stairs are just in place just to slow people down for if they go deep and leave them stuck at the shotgun trap when it's in place. That's the main reason for it being put there. It just annoys and stops people from going too far down. You can see they're kind of stuck, and the ladder will catch them as well. So if the door's open, you can aim up and shoot through at them. Very, very effective. Very, very simple trick to do. Now, as I said, you can put stuff underneath here as well. I recommend putting a shotgun trap down, so if something happens and you've left the chair, it just stops people from using it unless they have the TC. So you could effectively be allowing them a different way or different route to get out. Now this ladder can be a bit annoying to get in place, but I'm going to do it as you would instead of doing it in no clip, just to show that it definitely can be done. Very easy for me to fly around doing stuff, but you have to see it being done as well, and I appreciate that. Now you'll see here, at first you will try, you may not have the chair in the right place. All you have to do is keep getting up and placing the chair down. Move it closer every time and closer to yourself, including the door. I want to show how this doesn't work sometimes, but it's just a case of moving the chair so it does work. So if you do it straight away, you get disheartened and think it doesn't work anymore, it's been patched, when it's not. You just have to alter around and move the view angle as you would in the game. As you can see, popped up and done. Once you put honeycomb in place, it then becomes fully working and people can't really do anything other than get stuck in that area. I always get caught going on my roof because people ladder up and just wait at your door or use twig floors to get up there. Highly annoying. Drives me absolutely nuts. I'll show you now with the honeycomb in place. As soon as that's down, that blocks half the door off. You put your shotgun trap in that triangle and that is it. Very much done. Now, for the rest of the video, I'm not going to talk through it because it's pretty much just honeycomb. You can follow me all the way through for the rest of it, but it's just placing doors and honeycomb. That's all it is. Make this base your own. This is just a concept. Very much showing what can be done in a base like this. If you want to copy it like for like, as I said, keep watching, but do not put all the workbenches and boxes in the same places. Separate it. If you haven't noticed yet, this base separates everything out, so they're not going to get everything if they go for one section. That's key in Rust. The key things are to make sure people have to spend more to get to every area of the base. As I said as well, upgrade it to armoured where you feel happy. You might be playing a modded server and HQM is not an issue for you. For me, it is, sadly. However, you may not have those issues, but play on it. Make it your own, as I said, and I will see you in the next one.